Good now, VNVs, and welcome back to another YouTube video. This is the first of hopefully one, only ever one of these videos, and it's late at night, and one of my friends had posted on Facebook that they had Googled themselves, and they found that someone had taken their old passport photo and changed the color of their shirt and put them on a random Japanese website as an employee at a cafe. It was kind of weird. It was kind of creepy as well. So I thought to myself, I haven't Googled myself in a while. I wonder if anyone's done anything creepy to me. Now I know that kind of sets it up that this is going to be like a really creepy, like what have people done with me kind of video, but it's not what this is. It's not what this is at all. No, when Googling myself, on the front page of Google, when you Google my name, is a book that I wrote. A book. It's something I wrote a very, very long time ago. And I remember writing this, and I went to the website and I went to just go delete it and erase it from history. I don't want it up here. I definitely don't want it on the front page of Google when you search my name very much. But before I deleted it, I thought, you know what? Let's read this together. Let us see what 2013 Torsten thought. And let's read through his very, very, very short novel, The Gentleman's Rule Book. This was posted on a website called Wattpad, where, as far as I'm aware, it's just a place for people to post anything they want. It doesn't, like, regardless what it is, you can just, it's meant for like up and coming writers. As you can see, like, you'll also like Sin's World, Cover Shop, Rant Book, whatever the hell that stuff is. But it's meant for a place where you upload books that you write, and you don't need a publisher or stuff like that. So I thought this was going to be a great idea to post what I thought was the Gentleman's Rule Book. But now we're going to erase it from history immediately after we've read it together. And I've shared it with all of you one last time. And then we're getting rid of it completely. It's going away. So without further ado, let's get into it. Welcome to the Gentleman's Rulebook. This will teach you all the ways of being a gentleman, not just to girls, but also your family, friends, and everyone around you. Although yes, it will mainly focus on how to be a gentleman to your lady or to a lady that you like, but you can apply most of these rules to anyone in your life. Are you ready? Then let's get started. What kind of a fucking opener is that? Good Christ. Warning! There is a goddamn warning in the Gentleman's Rule Book. Oh boy. The rules listed below may vary depending on the type of girl she is and the type of guy you are. When applying any of the rules below, please take into consideration the type of girl she is, and then proceed from there. Never do something you or her find uncomfortable. You know, as much as I'm most likely going to rant on myself here for the ridiculous bullshit that this book is, some of it I'm pretty genuine about, you know, like that warning is actually, you know, it makes sense. Like, there's very many different types of girls. There's a lot of different types of guys, you know, not everything is 1-to-1 ratio. And, you know, never do something you or her find uncomfortable. That's fair. That's totally okay. You know what? I'm okay with that. I'm not okay with it being a warning and not like, you know, just common sense, but hey, whatever, here we go. Rule number 1. Ladies first. Ladies first is a rule that shows right off the bat that you are not just some other guy who is trying to get with a girl, that you actually care for her well-being. When you are with a girl, you will always let her go ahead of you, no matter what. Examples could be when entering a building, getting into a vehicle, eating dinner. What in the f do you mean by eating dinner? Just sit there and let her eat all of her dinner first and just watch her, and then when she's done, then eat your dinner? What the f did you mean, Torsten? Anytime you enter anything from another source. What in the f does that mean? Or when you both have the chance to get something, simply by saying, ladies first, to her, and allowing her to go first or ahead of you, shows that you are a nice gentleman. Why is gentleman capitalized? Who puts women ahead of yourself. Another meaning to this rule is that you always put her first in your plans, unless you follow the bro code, which states a certain rule, bros before hoes. In that case, you better make up your mind as to which rule you follow. The only time you ever disregard the ladies first rule is if the path ahead is dangerous. If the path ahead is dangerous, you must then be a gentleman and hold her close and lead her through the danger. What on earth are you talking about? Examples could be like going through a haunted house, walking through puddles of water. If she will let you, offer to carry her over them. Or there is thick snow on the ground, she can then walk in your tracks as not to get cold and wet feet. Situations like these are the only times you should disregard the lady's first rule. And again, as ridiculously worded and sounding this is, some of it, you know, it's fair. It's fair, you know. You could summarize all of this and just be like, be kind, be considerate, offer things to her first before doing them upon yourself, and just be nice. Don't be a dick. Simple as that. Rule number 2, doors. The doors rule goes hand in hand with the lady's first rule, because when applying the rule number 1, chances are you're going to use the second rule. Doors simply means that if there is a door in a lady's path, you open it for her, which you have to take as literally and figuratively. You're the hard-working man, which means you must do the work of opening the door for her. You might ask, why? It's just a door. Well, what if she's carrying something? She would then have to put that item down, open the door, hold it open with her foot as she picks back up the items she placed down, and then proceed in. Or she could have just got her nails done, and by opening a door, could have the possibility of scratching them. By opening a door, really, come on. Now, wouldn't it be so much easier for her to have a nice man open the door for her, so she could simply keep walking without any troubles? I thought so. Oh, you're so f***ing smug, aren't you? Again, summarizing this whole thing, if you want to be nice, open the door for him. That's not just females, that's anyone. If there's people behind you and you're in front and you're the first to the door, open the fucking door. Or if you just want to be kind, just like reach out and grab the door and open it. Doesn't matter if they're carrying anything or whatever. Just don't be kind, be considerate, don't be a dick. Rule number 3, money. Well, now we're going to get into really juicy details here. Now, this only applies to you, sir, if you're not married. Oh, well, shit. Throw this rule out the goddamn window for pretty much 90% of you. If you are married, you share the same money. Not all marriages. You didn't know that in 2014, 2013, whenever the hell it was around there. You didn't know that. So if you are married, you have the option of skipping this rule. Now, for those who are not married, the rule money applies like this. You are the money maker. So you must show that you care about her other half, about your other half, by providing for her in more ways other than just sex and the occasional kiss here and there. Just sex and the occasional kiss. Sex, but the occasional kiss. Why are you having more sex in your relationship than you are in kissing? I don't think that's how I meant to word this, but it's how it came across. Also, you're the moneymaker. Yep, it's almost sexist right there. It's like, and no matter who the guy is and who the girl is, and if you're not married, the guy is making more money than the girl. You know, in some industries, that is completely true. That is completely true. It sucks, but it's the truth. 2013, 2014, Torsten does not know what he's talking about in this situation. It is abundantly clear. If you take her out to dinner, you pay. If you are both going to be driving someplace and she needs gas, you pay. If you're both driving to the same place, just share the f***ing car. If she has to get groceries for the both of you, you help pay. Oh, so when it's groceries, you help pay. Everything else is just you pay. But if it's groceries, you help pay. Because 2013, Torsten was like, groceries are f***ing expensive. You're not paying for all of that. You're gonna help pay with that. The flip side to this rule is that you don't pay for everything she wants. Clothing, rent, taxes, etc. Because it's not your responsibility and she will become dependent on you. Almost everything else you just listed, however, she's still going to become dependent on you. If you're at a crossroads about whether or not to pay for something of hers, just think, if it involves you, then yes, help her out. If it does not involve you, save your change for another time. So the moral is to pay for the stuff once in a while, because you want to be a nice lad, not a broke one. Holy shit. You know, there was a YouTube video I watched a really long time ago, and I can't remember the name of it, but I'm sure someone down in the description, down in the comments down below, will probably find it and link it. But it was this guy. He was doing a talk show with a bunch of women. It was like only girls in the audience, I'm pretty sure. And it was a small clip from the talk show about who should pay in the relationship and like going on dates and stuff. And at the very beginning, he was like, if you and your boyfriend go on a date or something, who should pay, you or him? And like every single girl in there said him, and he was like, why? And he went into this whole thing about like how if you're in a relationship, it should be equal on both sides. And even if the sides are different, like if one person's making like the equivalent of $1 in the hour and the person's on the other side is making the equivalent of $10 an hour, it shouldn't be the $10 an hour person paying for everything all the time. You should both contribute to what you can contribute for the relationship. It's like when you're with your best friend. Like if I go on a lunch date with my best friend or something, I'll offer to pay for the full thing, but I'm not going to demand that I do, and he's not going to demand that I pay either. We're both going to put our money into our fair share for what we had. And you know, when I watched that, I thought that is totally true. Why is it always the guy has to pay for everything? Even if the girl makes way more money than the guy, why should the guy pay for everything? He shouldn't. You should both contribute equal amounts, what you can, like equal amounts from each side of what you can, if that makes any sense. It makes sense in my head. Hopefully it makes sense to you, towards the relationship and like to the date and stuff. That's only fair. I think that's completely true. So I'm this whole money rule, while it sounds absolutely great, if you're a girl reading this, you're like, absolutely. Honestly, I completely changed my mind on this now in my older age of 23. I think if you're in a relationship and it's like a hardcore relationship where you've been together for like a while, like 6 months plus kind of thing, then you should both contribute what you can to the relationship. It shouldn't become completely dependent on one person 90% of the time, all the time. Like if you're both working, if you're both making an income, one person shouldn't be the only person doing all the work all the time in terms of money. Like you both should contribute what you can based on what you earn towards dates, to groceries, to rent and all that kind of stuff. You were living together, and that's how it should be. And that's the only fair way really to do it. And that's how I think. Of course, it may change if you're the only one working and she is not working, or she's the only one working and you are not working. Then it changes based on that kind of thing. But if you're with a girl who doesn't offer, this is mainly to guys, because this is more a guy thing than a girl thing. Sorry, ladies. But guys, if you're with a girl who never offers to pay for anything that you guys do, it's always you paying, and maybe you don't even mind that you're paying pretty much like all the time. Maybe you don't mind it, but down the road it will become a huge issue. So if a girl at least is offering to pay and you let her pay once in a while, that is so much more meaningful than always paying for absolutely everything, and then suddenly like something will come along that suddenly you can't pay for, you just don't have the funds for, but she will already have this thought in her mind of this is how things have always been and now things are changing because you've always been paying. So don't do that. If a girl never offers to pay for absolutely anything, not even offering, that's a red flag. Get out of there. That is 2018 Torsten's new gentleman rule book, rule number 1. Do not fall into a always paying trap. There you go. That's the only rule that I'm ever going to make in my new revised book, which is not going to be online anywhere. Rule number 4, feelings. Always be aware of her feelings. Never, ever, ever, ever disregard her feelings. Girls like a man who cares about her. So ask her every so often, how is your day going? Or if she is what the fuck am I reading here? Or if she is or recently was sick. That is so difficult to read. Why did I write it like that? Ask, how are you feeling? Or ask, are you feeling okay? And then follow up with is there anything I can do to help? By saying simple things like that, you will automatically start to be separated from every other guy out there. Just a simple, how was your day? Shows that you actually care about her and want to get to know her and be involved with her feelings and her life. Plus, it's a great conversation starter. Women hate to be ignored, so why would you make her mad by not caring? Save yourself the trouble and ask her, how was your day? She'll appreciate that way more than just the simple sup. You know what? I stand by this rule today, and I follow this rule, my own rule, today still. This is the one that is so completely true, and I fully still stand behind this one. If you ask someone, like if you're with someone, you say like, how is your day going, ? Or something like that, it speaks 500 times louder than being like sup or hey or whatever. I am a firm believer in this rule number 4 in feelings, that if you ask like, how is your day going, or like, Are you feeling okay if they're sick or anything? Or it's like, is there anything I can do to help? Even if you know they will, even if you know their answer, even if you know they will say, no, I don't think so, or like, no, not really and stuff. Even if you know that, even if you know what they're gonna say, ask anyways, because it shows that you care. Just do that, all right? I'm okay with rule number 4, feelings. Stand behind that rule. Feelings is a good rule. Fully love it. Rule number 5, family. When you become involved with a girl, you become involved with her family as well. So get to know them. If she starts talking about something that has to do with a relative of hers, be it her mother, father, grandma, uncle, whoever it might be, listen. Chances are you're going to meet them sometime, and it would be a good idea not to be totally, utterly clueless during that time. Plus, you should listen to everything a girl says. If she's telling you something, chances are it's important. Not all the time. Sometimes you can be talking about just complete, utter, random bullshit nonsense that doesn't mean anything. But it's just fun conversation stuff. So always listen to your woman. That's one part, 100% true. Always listen. Another reason to pay attention to stuff about her family is because it's her family. That's where she came from. If you want to get to know the girl, you gotta know her family and her past. If you don't care, and you're just simply looking for something short term, then put this book down. This is not for the average hook up, get laid, move on guy. This is for the meet a girl, fall in love, live happily gentleman. You know what? It's still cringy as all shit, but I like rule number 5. If you want a long-term relationship, you're gonna have to know the family. Unless you're in one of those random relationships where you two just run away and you elope and you never talk to either one of your families ever again. But that's a rare case. So if you're serious about a girl, you're gonna meet the family. So get to know the family. Rule number 6, friends. The only person closer to a woman besides you is her friends. If her friends don't like you, then you're in big trouble. For example, I once really liked a girl and I asked her out. Oh, who in the shit am I talking about? Mind you, this was ages ago, so I was still new to the whole dating thing. Her response to my question was, I'll think about it. Just let me talk to my friends. Who the fuck was that? Her friends told her I was a strange fellow and weird. They were fucking correct. Also, mind you, I had long hair, and for a guy to have long hair in my childhood, it was weird. Ha! So she came back and told me her friends thought I was not a good match for her. So if you're going to ask a girl out, get to know her a bit more. And if you have the chance to meet any of her friends, do it. If her friends like you, chances are she will too. Plus, if the relationship goes well, you will need someone to ask about gifts for her, and who better to ask for advice than her closest friends. That last part is 100% true. 100% true. If you're gonna get a gift for your girlfriend or someone that you like, the absolute best person to ask is their best friend or their close friends, because they will know what she likes. I really cannot remember who in the hell I asked out and then went and talked to her friends, and then her friends said I was weird, so she said no. I have no idea who that could have been. I have no doubt it probably happened, but I don't know who it was. Rule number 7, gifts. Now, depending on the type of lady you have or are going for, this rule may be helpful or irrelevant. There are women out there who absolutely love getting gifts, and there are some who hate it. Try and find out what type of girl yours is before applying this rule. So for the sake of this book, let's say she's somewhere in the middle. Somewhere. This way you can apply it more or less depending on the girl, but let's get down to basics. Nothing's better than showing up at her doorstep with a bunch of flowers just because you can. I agree, I've done that many a times, always goes over well. It will make her smile. Trust me. Trust me. Does. You shouldn't need an occasion to buy a woman something special. Agree. Now on days like her birthday, Christmas, or Valentine's Day, always get her something. If you're low on money, just by making her a simple homemade card explaining how you love her will be more than enough to warm her heart. But be aware of what she has before getting her a gift. If she has buckets full of jewelry, don't just get her more to add to her pile. If she has shoes laying around everywhere, don't get her another pair. Always think to yourself before getting her a gift. Does she have this or one like it already? A good idea for gift buying would to get her something she needs or wants. That way, both her needs and wants are covered. One more thing to be cautious about when buying women gifts is clothing. Unless you are absolutely 100% sure she will love it, don't get it. Women are usually very picky about their style of clothing, so unless you know, without a doubt, she will like it, don't get her any clothing. I agree with that last point as well. Clothing for someone, if you don't know them really, really well, is such a tricky slope to go down, because if you get their size wrong, God forbid, and God help you, if you get their style wrong and they'll pretend that they like it, but they will never wear it, or the only time they'll ever wear it is when they're around you just to make you feel better, and even you know that they don't wear it outside of around you or something. It's getting clothing for someone is a sticky situation. Your best bet, if you can, like, you really have a low budget but you want to get her clothing because she doesn't really want like other stuff, is to get her socks. Socks are one size fits all, and usually if you know a girl like Simile well enough, you can get her socks that are, you know, of a style that she will like. And even if they're not of a style she will like, they're socks. They're going to be hidden by pants and shoes anyway, so even if she's not fully okay with the style, it's fine. They can be covered up and still act as socks anyways. So socks are your best bet to get for clothing for a girl that maybe you don't know 100% her size or the style of clothing that she likes. So socks, get her socks. Rule 8, public display of affection. Have you ever seen couples kissing or holding hands in public? Who the hell hasn't? That is public display of affection. Now, some girls don't care about PDA and will do what they please with you in public, but other girls may not. Do what they please with you in public. The writing in here is very suggestive. Easy way to find out if your lady is okay with PDA is by simply asking. Never assume she is or isn't. Once you and your partner are in a relationship that seems to be going well, and you spend time together, both publicly and alone, simply ask next time you get the chance, what is your opinion on PDA? Publicly showing your love for each other is a great way of showing that you're happy with your partner and you're not afraid to show the world it. But if your other half is a very shy girl and does not like doing anything publicly, do not push her into doing anything she doesn't like. Being forceful is a good way to get yourself kicked out of a relationship. You know what? I stand by that rule too. That one's totally fair. Rule 9. Exes. Oh boy, what did I say here? If you are the first guy in her love life, then you may skip this rule. If not, you may want to read this closely. If you're with, or trying to be with, a woman who has had men in her life before you, there are things to watch for. Oh boy. Women are shaped by the men they date. Are they? Are they really? I think women are strong enough to not be, you know, shaped by the men they date. Maybe sometimes. Maybe they adapt and they just, you know, comes across and they change like their way of dating and their way of, you know, going about relationships because of their exes. But I wouldn't say they're shaped by it. I think it just needs to be worded differently. Your job as a gentleman is to be better than the previous men who tried and failed. There is a reason they are her exes and not her currents. If a woman has had previous men in her life, never bring the topic up unless she does it first. I don't think you need to go that far. Me personally, as of right now, I wouldn't bring up exes in a relationship because there's no need to. I see no reason to bring them up because they're not in her life anymore. I'm the one that's in her life, not her exes. So for me, there's no point in bringing up the exes whatsoever. Your mileage may vary. For lots of women, the topic of her exes is unsettling and can bring up bad memories. As her man, or hopefully soon to be, it is your job not to bring back her bad memories, but form new ones with her. Also, if she mentions some things that she and her ex did, like go to a certain restaurant, see a certain movie, have a special song, etc., do not do the same things. Take her to a new restaurant, see a different movie, find your own song together. It's always best to do things together to keep things fresh. Be the one she doesn't want to let go of. That's your job. I almost fully agree with rule 9. I will say I differ a little bit on like never talk about the exes. They're exes for a reason. Learn why, you know, without, you know, pulling out the notebook and pen, but just, you know, subconsciously learn why they're her exes so you don't follow the same patterns or such. But then also the thing of like, if they went to a certain restaurant or saw a certain movie or stuff, don't ever do that kind of thing. I mean, that's a little on the nose. Like, if her favorite restaurant is Denny's, and it's a place that she eats all the time because she absolutely loves the goddamn pancakes there, then go to Denny's. It doesn't matter that she went there with her ex. She loves Denny's, go to Denny's. And if you don't like Denny's, suck it up. She does. Ladies first. Rule number 1, motherfucker. If she went there because, like, that was their first date kind of thing and she was kind of indifferent to it, yeah, maybe don't do the exact same thing. Maybe take her someplace new. But if it's like, it's because it's her favorite thing, then just do it, man. If she loves that song, listen to it. If she loves this movie and wants to watch it with you, do it. Doesn't matter that her ex watched it with you. Just do it. All right? It's different. And we're at the final rule of the Gentleman's Rule Book. Rule number 10. Trust and confidence. Most relationships will end because of the lack of trust and confidence between them. Examples being simple things like not trusting each other's words, not believing them when they are really telling the truth, not thinking that the relationship will work out, or thinking she will leave you soon. Any thoughts like these are bad for relationships. Being in a relationship without trust is like sitting in a car without gas. You can sit in it all day, but it's not going anywhere. A positive outlook is the best outlook. Never doubt your partner's words unless you have a very good reason to. The mind brings about what you think about. So if you constantly think to yourself, she's gonna leave me, she's gonna leave me, then chances are she will, because you're sending out that type of vibe with your mind. If you ever find yourself thinking terrible or bad thoughts, just reverse them. Just reverse them. It's just the simplest thing. 2013, 2014, Torsten had this under wraps. You ever find yourself just thinking terrible or bad thoughts, just reverse that shit. Just switch, like throw on the e-brake, put your clutch in, shift that thing down from drive to R, and just reverse them, man. Simplest shit ever. Fucking Christ. Start thinking to yourself, we are happy together. We are happy together. And chances are, things will begin to turn around for you and her. And if you two haven't done much as a couple recently, take her out someplace. Watch a movie together. Whatever you feel will make you both happy, do it. A happy relationship is a healthy relationship. So keep it that way. I love at the bottom here it says, to be continued, the Gentleman's Rule Book, last updated August 14th, 2013. Well, with all of that said and done, let us go ahead and delete this from the internet forever. And then the only way this will ever exist is right here on this YouTube channel. Alright, well this was quite the experience, I will say. It was kind of interesting to read, especially the last part about like trust and confidence. What, 17-year-old me versus 23-year-old me really thinks. A lot of stuff in the book that I wrote is the same on my outlook right now when it comes to relationships and stuff. A lot of it has changed. The fucking last part just shows you that, I didn't have my version of anxiety that I now have, or my version of depression that I now have. I say my version of anxiety and my version of depression because I'm not outright saying I have anxiety and depression, because I've never gone to a doctor about either one of those things or a therapist about either one of those things. I say my version of it because based on their descriptions and how other people go through them, I can definitely see that I have those tendencies, especially anxiety. 100% anxiety, I have those tendencies. When it comes to relationships, holy shit, brother, do I have anxiety. Listening to 17-year-old me just saying, if you're having those thoughts like she's gonna leave me, she's gonna leave me, she's gonna leave me, just fucking reverse them. Like, listening to 17-year-old me say that, he was so naive. And you know what, I would wish that I had the mindset of 17-year-old me more so now, because 17-year-old me did not have any anxiety when it came to relationships whatsoever. And now, like, 23-year-old me is just chock full of it. So thank you guys so much for watching this kind of different type of video, but you know what? You learnt what 17-year-old me thinks like, and you learnt what 23-year-old me thinks like when it comes to relationships. So there you go. We got a little bit personal at the end of this episode here. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, tell your friends. And if you didn't, well, you tell me. Have yourself a good one, everybody. Skål.